so far. Thank you. Anyway, back to the story. About a year into the relationship, Ryan suggested we buy a house together. And honestly, I was excited. Terrified, but excited. We started looking at properties, meeting with lenders, doing all the grown-up stuff nobody prepares you for. Then, one afternoon, something happened. A bank requested additional financial documents. Nothing unusual. Except one of the documents Ryan sent me didn't match something he'd told me before. Not even close. At first, I assumed it was a mistake. Then I asked about it. And suddenly, he became defensive. Immediately, which felt weird. Because normally people don't get angry over simple questions. Eventually, the truth came out. Ryan wasn't in debt. Not exactly. But he'd hidden a lot of financial problems from me. A lot. Old loans, missed payments, credit issues, stuff he'd spent years covering up. And suddenly, all those little lies started making sense. Because they weren't random. They were habits. Then things got worse. Because once I started asking questions, more things started unraveling. Stories that didn't add up. Details that changed. Promises he'd made and forgotten. It felt like every conversation revealed another surprise. And honestly, I was exhausted. Not because of any single lie. Because I never knew when I was hearing the truth. Then one day, I ran into Claire again. Completely by accident. At a coffee shop. The universe apparently enjoys chaos. She recognized me immediately. So did I. We ended up talking. And eventually I asked her directly, what did you mean when you said good luck? She stared at me for a second. Then laughed. Not mean laughter. Sad laughter. Then she said, Ryan's not a bad person. Interesting start. But he lies whenever the truth makes him uncomfortable. Silent. Because wow, that hit hard. Then she explained. Their relationship didn't end because of cheating, or abuse, or some giant betrayal. It ended because after years together, she realized she couldn't build a future with someone whose stories constantly changed, even when the lies were small, even when they seemed harmless. Eventually, she stopped knowing what was real. And honestly, that sounded painfully familiar. Then she said something I'll never forget. The problem isn't that he lies to other people. She paused. The problem is that he eventually believes his own version too. Oof, that one stayed with me for a long time. A few months later, Ryan and I broke up. Not because of one giant scandal, because trust slowly disappeared. Piece by piece, conversation by conversation, question by question. And once trust goes, everything becomes difficult. The craziest part? After we split up, I thought about Claire's warning constantly, because she never told me to leave, never insulted him, never tried to sabotage the relationship. She just wished me good luck, because she'd already been through everything I was about to experience. Still though, if your boyfriend's ex hugs you and whispers good luck, maybe don't assume she's being dramatic. There's always a chance she's handing you the spoiler for the next 2 years of your life.